For this project, I recommend using chunky cotton yarn, category number 5. What I'm having here is cotton yarn, but you can actually just use the regular one. If it is hard to find chunky weight, you can actually put 2 strands of thicker yarn together, which much easier to find, and you'll get the same thickness. I think 100% cotton yarn would be the best for this bag, but you can actually use whatever you want. And we are going to crochet with the 4.5mm crochet hook, yarn needle, of course, some stitch markers, I'm using bobby pins, and a measuring tape. In case you need some wrap per inch information, and when we measure this, as you can see here, from here to here, so it will be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's like 10 wrap per inch, something like that, right? Let's start with a slip knot. And then a number of chains. Make sure to keep all the loops on the hook close to the sides of the hook. It should not be too loose, and it should not be too tight that it's hard to work with. There should be just enough space so that you can move the hook easily. Alright, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What we're gonna do next is to make the base or the bottom of the bag, which is just a simple rectangle. To start row 1, we're gonna work a double crochet into the 9th chain, counting from the chain next to the loop on the hook, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This one, okay? So you can see each chain shaped like little V. So we have the top loop of the V and the bottom loop of the V. I'm going to insert the hook right in this top loop of the V shape. Now for a double crochet, yarn over with the working yarn, and I like to put my finger here so that it's easier to insert the hook, and insert the hook into this 9th chain like so. And then with the working yarn, bring our loop. You'll see that you have 3 loops on the hook. Try to keep the loops close to the sides of the hook, but not too tight, alright? Then, with this working yarn, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, like so, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we need a chain 2, 1 and 2, right? Then you skip 2 chains and work double crochet in this next chain, right? So skip 1 and 2 chains, then work double crochet in this next one. Now another double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook in that chain, bring our loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, that's how it should look like. Now we're gonna repeat the exact same thing, chain 2, 1 and 2, skip 2 chains and double crochet in the next one, yarn over, insert the hook, bring our loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, that's how it should look like, and we're just gonna keep repeating the same thing. 1, 2 chains, skip 2 chains, double crochet in the next chain. Okay, I'm going to meet you by the end of the row to show you how it's like. So here I am by the end of the chain. Let's chain 2, skip 2 chains and work in the next chain. And then here you will see that we have 3 chains left. We're going to chain 2 and work in this last chain. Chain 2 and work double crochet in the last chain. Right? Okay. And that is how it should look like. We are going to turn the work, and then we're going to make a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then you're going to skip the chain 2 and work double crochet in the double crochet stitch. So this one, and you'll find a V on top of the double crochet, insert the hook, yarn over, and insert the hook right under that V shape on top of the double crochet, like so. Bring our loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, that's how it should look like. Alright, then let's chain 2, and then skip this chain 2 space and then work double crochet into the next double crochet. Right? And then the same thing, chain 2, skip the chain 2 space and double crochet in the next double crochet stitch. And we're just going to repeat that all the way until the end of the row. And I will meet you here to show you how it's like. So as you can see here, I am at the end of this row. We're going to do the same thing, chain 2, and then double crochet in this double crochet stitch, the last double crochet stitch. And then once we're here, we're going to make a chain 2, and then double crochet in the 3rd chain count from this last double crochet, right? So 1, 2, and 3, right? You insert the hook right there in the 3rd chain. So yarn over, insert the hook, bring our loop, and then double crochet. And this is how the whole piece looks like. Okay, right. Now we're going to turn the work from the right to the left, and we're going to start the next row the same way we did with the 2nd row, a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then double crochet into this next double crochet, right? Chain 2, double crochet in this next double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in the next double crochet. And that's how it should look like. Keep repeating the exact same thing until the end of the row, and I will meet you there to show you how it's like. I'm at the end of this row. Now let's do a chain 2 and then work double crochet in the last double crochet stitch. And then now here we're going to do the exact same thing we did in the previous row. We chain 2 and work double crochet in the 3rd chain count from this last double crochet, right? So the 1st chain is always a little tighter, so you can see it's a little smaller than the next one. So that's something to keep in mind. So you count from this little chain in the beginning, 1, 2, and 3. So this is the 3rd chain, right? Yarn over and insert the hook in the 3rd chain, like so. Bring our loop and double crochet. Okay. And so we're going to repeat the exact same thing, turn the work, and then chain 5, and then double crochet in the next double crochet stitch, chain 2, and double crochet in the next double crochet stitch. Okay, so let's repeat the exact same pattern, and I will meet you when we are done with the base or the bottom of the bag. Okay, so here's a little common mistake that we may make along the way when we skip a stitch like that. So just a reminder to pay a little bit more attention to make sure that you don't skip any stitch. And also, sometimes you can make more chains than you need. So here, instead of 2 chains, I made 3 chains. And it's not a big deal, but if you make a lot of this mistake, it would look kind of strange. So the fabric would look kind of strange. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So this is how it should look like by now. I did 6 rows, and this is what we have here is the base of the bag. Right now, if you measure this length of the rectangle, it will be a little shorter than what you decided in the first place, because this is not the length of the bag, but the length of the bag would include part of this side too, so half of it. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but if it doesn't, here's an illustration. You can actually make more rows, but that would definitely make the bag wider. So yeah, make sure that you consider that. From here, we're going to start making the side of the bag, which is like that. And you're going to need the stitch markers. Okay, so we are going to turn the work, and we're going to do again a chain 5. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Now, I would recommend you to mark the third chain of the chain 5. So it's right here in the middle of the chain, like so. And then we are going to start working double crochet into this next double crochet, and then we're going to work double crochet into this next double crochet stitch without the chain 2. So just from here, you double crochet right into the next stitch without the chain 2 space, right? That we usually do, right? And then you're going to make another double crochet like so without the chain 2. So what we did here, it's actually a decreasing when you have 2 stitches or 2 boxes and you put it together into one box for the next row. So this would create a more defined round to the bottom of the bag. So yeah, we're going to do 4 of these decreasing. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's do another chain 2 and double crochet into the next double crochet stitch to create another usual box like that, and then chain 2, double crochet in the next double crochet stitch. First, let's mark this middle stitch of the decreasing. So here, this one. All right, mark it like so, and then you repeat the same pattern until you have about 3 boxes left on this side. So I will meet you right here to show you how it's like. Okay, let's just keep going with chain 2 and double crochet in the next double crochet stitch. Here you can see I have 3 boxes left. Right now we're going to do the same decreasing like what we did here. So without the chain 2, you are going to work a double crochet right in the next double crochet stitch, like so, okay? And then another double crochet stitch in the next double crochet, like so, right? And then you want to mark the middle stitch of the decreasing, like so, okay? And now we need another chain 2, okay? And double crochet in the third chain of this corner, of this chain 5 corner. So 1, 2, 3, like that, right? Okay, we need to yarn over first. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then you are going to chain 2 again and work double crochet in the next double crochet stitch of the box. So this one, the next point of the box, this one. So yarn over, insert the hook, and double crochet. Okay, that's how it should look like. And here you can see that it's already formed the side of the bag, a little 3D corner, right? And chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, like so. Chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch. And let's do this together until we reach the next corner. Chain 2, double crochet, like so, right? And when you reach this corner, you're gonna do the same thing, a chain 2, a double crochet in that corner, like so. And then we do a chain 2, a double crochet in this next stitch, right? Okay, so there is a second 3D corner. Now we're gonna need another decreasing here. So without the chain 2, you're gonna work double crochet in the next stitch, like so, and then another double crochet in the next stitch, skipping the chain 2. All right, that's how it should look like. Again, you want to mark the middle stitch of the decreasing, and that's how it should look like by now, right? Okay, you're going to again chain 2 and double crochet in the next stitch. Be careful because this is like the foundation chain, so it may look a little loose like that. Make sure you don't work 2 double crochet in the same place, right? 2 stitches in the same place. Make sure that it's the next one, chain 2 and double crochet to create a box like that. And then another one, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in the next stitch, right? And just do the exact same thing. I'm gonna again meet you right here when you have 3 boxes left. And we're gonna do another decreasing together. Here I have 3 boxes left. Let's do another decreasing. Skip the chain 2 and work double crochet in this next stitch. And another same thing, skip the chain 2 and work a double crochet in there. Okay, don't forget to mark the middle stitch of the decreasing, like so. And then another chain 2, double crochet in the third chain of the corner. So 1, 2, and so here 1, 2, and this one right in the middle of that chain, like so. And then chain 2 and double crochet in the next stitch. So it's this one. There you can see another corner, 3D corner, right? Then repeat the exact same thing, chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, and here you will see that we're reaching the end of the round when you see this mark in the middle of the chain 5 in the beginning, right? So this is going to be the end of the row. Let's do the same thing, chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch until we get to that mark. Chain 2, double crochet. We have another stitch to work in. Chain 2 and double crochet. Okay, so here you'll see that we reached the end of the row. So in order for the corner to form, we need only three sides, right? So here we already have 3 sides. If you work another stitch in here, the corner cannot form, right? So here we only need a chain 2, and we're going to join this row into the round with a slip stitch into this chain that you mark, right? So for a slip stitch, you insert the hook in the 3rd chain or where you mark and bring our loop like so. Then bring that same loop through the loop on your hook. And that's how you join the round with a slip stitch, okay? So now as we're working in the round, we don't need to turn the work anymore. What we're gonna do next is we need another chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. And then you are going to double crochet in the next double crochet stitch that you see. So it's right there. Okay. And then here you're gonna create another box, even though it's a little bit unusual here because it's a decreasing, but you just need another chain 2. Then you skip this mark stitch, the middle stitch, and double crochet in the next stitch. Like that, right? Okay, so that's a decrease because here we have 2 boxes. Now we have only boxes on top of that. So that's how we do a decreasing. We are going to chain 2 and double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch. Yeah, that's how it should look like, right? Okay, so here I would recommend you to mark the 3rd chain of the chain 5 in the beginning, like that, so that you will know when the round is ending. We don't need this anymore. We can just take that away. Now, I will repeat the exact same thing. Let's repeat the exact same thing, and I will meet you here when we're closer to this next marker, okay? And here we're gonna do another chain 2 for this stitch. Chain 2, double crochet in this stitch next to the marker, and then of course we need a chain 2. We skip this mark stitch and then we work in the next stitch like so, just a usual box, right? And then of course we're gonna do a chain 2 and double crochet in the next stitch, and you just repeat that all the way until you get to the next marker. And we actually do the exact same thing, but let's do that together one more time. All right. Okay, and here you can see that I'm closer to this marker. Let's do this stitch, chain 2 and double crochet, right? And here we do a chain 2, skip the mark stitch and work in the next stitch like that, right? And so we have only one decreasing left to work in. I'll meet you there when I'm closer to that marker, and let's do that together. Okay, so here I am. Another chain 2 and do this stitch. like that, and here a chain 2, skip the marked stitch and work in the next stitch, and then chain 2, work in the next stitch, and we're really close to the end of this round, so let's do it together, right? Chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2 again, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, like so, chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so here we have 1 stitch left until the end of the row. Let's do a chain 2 and work in this last stitch. Alright, and here we're gonna do a chain 2 and join around with a slip stitch the same way we did in the last row, right? So chain 2 and slip stitch into this third chain. Inside the hook, bring our loop, bring that same loop through the loop on your hook, and that's how you join around with a slip stitch. You can remove these stitch markers. It already formed the side of the back, like, right? If you want to be careful, you can count the boxes you have on each rows and make sure that you have the same number of boxes in every other rows, making sure that we don't make any mistake along the way. So from now, we're just going to repeat the exact same thing all over again until the back is like big enough or tall enough. Let's do that together one more time. We do a chain 5 in the beginning of every row, right? Like that. And I recommend you to mark the third chain of the chain 5, and then you double crochet into the next double crochet stitch, like that, and chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, and it will be the same all over until the end of the round. So let's repeat that, and I'll meet you by the end of the round to show you one more time how it's like. Okay, so here I am. I'm closer to this mark where we marked the middle of the chain 5 in the beginning, right? We have 1 stitch left. We're gonna do a chain 2 and then a double crochet in this last double crochet stitch, right? And then we need a chain 2 in the end. We insert the hook into this third chain of the chain 5 in the beginning, bring our loop, bring the same loop through the loop on your hook, and that's a slip stitch, like so. I'm going to remove this marker and we do another chain 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay, another chain 5 for the next row, then double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and don't forget to mark the third chain just so that it reminds you when it's the end of the row, right? Chain 2 and double crochet in the next stitch. So yeah, you can already see this is how it looks like. This is the bottom of the bag, and with the decreasing here we have a little nice curve. As you can already tell, we're going to from now we're just going to repeat the exact same thing all over again. Chain 2, double crochet in the next double crochet stitch, all the way until the end of the round. After double crocheting in this last stitch, you need a chain 2, okay, slip stitch into the third chain of the chain 5 in the beginning to join the round, and then chain 5 again. Make sure to mark the third chain like that, and then repeat the exact same thing all over again until the back is tall enough for you. Okay, and I'll meet you there to move on to the next part. Okay, so here we are, and I think this is good enough for me. Right now it is about 10.5 inches. You can make more rows if you like, but this is good enough for me. I have a few stitches left, so let's finish it together. Chain 2, double crochet in this stitch, chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2 again, double crochet in the next stitch, the last stitch, like that, and then chain 2, slip stitch in the third chain. Okay, and now we need a chain 1. Then you're gonna need 4 stitch markers right there. And you want to find this, so you will find this decreasing that you made in the bottom of the bag, and you see this middle stitch of the decreasing right there. You are going to follow the column of that stitch right above that stitch. So this one, right? This one. You want to mark the third box starting from this box. So 1, 2, 3, and then you mark this double crochet right there. Okay? And you do the same thing on the other side. So this, you can clearly see the decreasing on this corner, and this middle stitch of the decreasing, you follow the column. So it's this one, right? And the third one from this one. So 1, 2, 3, and this double crochet. You mark it right there, and repeat the same thing with the other 2 corners. This one right here, this column, 1, 2, 3, and this one. The same thing happened here. This decreasing, this column, 1, 2, 3, and this double crochet. Okay, so this is where our strap is gonna be, like that. You can freely move the stitch markers according to how you prefer it, but this is how I want it, right? You can count the boxes, just make sure that the straps are even, right? So between the 2 places where you mark it, it should be the same. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and it should be 14 here too. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, right? And it also should be the exact same here, right? Okay, now let's move on. We are here, we did a chain 1 here, right? Now you are going to single crochet into the next chain, this chain, right? So for a single crochet, you just insert the hook in the chain. It will be this upper loop of the V shape, like that. For single crochet, we're not going to yarn over. We're just going to insert the hook where we want the stitch to be. With the working yarn, bring our loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through. And that is a single crochet. You can see that it's much smaller than the double crochet, right? But it still have the V shape on top of it, which kind of lean to the right, if that's okay. And you should have another stitch marker and mark that very first single crochet. Put it right under this V on top of the first single crochet, like that, okay? It's a little short, so it's best to have the stitch marker here to remind you that the row ends right there. So now you single crochet into this next chain. I take only 1 loop of the chain, and then in the double crochet you do a single crochet like that, right? And then again single crochet in the next chain, which we have 2 in between the double crochet, and then single crochet in the double crochet all the way until we reach this first marker. So let's do it together. The next chain, the double crochet, the next chain, and the next chain. When you reach this marker, you just insert the hook right in there and work another single crochet. All right? And here's where we make the strap of the bag. I like to make 65 chains. You can actually make it as long as you like. let's just make 65 chains together, and then you can decide if you want it to be longer or shorter, right? 4, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here I have with me 65 chains. You can drag it to actually imagine how it is. You can make as many chains as you like, but make sure that you note the number down so that when you get to the other side, you will make the same number of chains for the other straps, right? We want them to be even. Now we are going to single crochet right into this next mark stitch. So you just insert the hook right in there and then bring our loop. Make sure that the loops are close to the size of the hook like that, and then yarn over, pull through. Okay, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing we did. Single crochet into each chain and each stitch across all the way until we reach the next marker right there, and I'll meet you there to quickly show you. Okay, and I will meet you there to quickly show you how it's like one more time. Okay, and here you can see that when you work in the chain, the chain loop got dragged up a little like that. Make sure that you don't work 2 stitches in the same place, right? Move on to the next chain like so, and in the double crochet, a single crochet like that. Okay, here I am close to the next mark. Let's work single crochet into this 2 chains. In this mark place, we are going to work another single crochet in there like so, and work the same number of chains that you made on the other side. And there it is. Now we are going to single crochet in this next mark stitch, a single crochet, and then single crochet into each chain and each stitch across all the way until the end of the row. When you reach this very first single crochet that we mark, and I will meet you there. So here we are. Let's work single crochet in this last chains, the 2 last chains like so, and then here in this very first single crochet you are going to slip stitch in there like that. I like to fasten that slip stitch so that it will be more sturdy, so you can pull on the working yarn and the loop on your hook all together, and it will fasten the slip stitch like that, right? And then you are going to chain 1, and in the same place, in the same first single crochet, you work another single crochet like that. And don't forget to mark that first single crochet. It will remind you that when you get here that it's the end of the row. Okay, and then just work single crochet into each stitch across. You will see the V shapes, and just insert the hook under the V shape and work single crochet until you get to the chain. Okay, so here I have 2 stitches left before I reach the chain. This one and this last one, like so. For the strap, we're going to work double crochet in this chain that we made. So, for double crochet, you yarn over 1 time, right? And then you insert the hook into the very first chain right there. And here we want to take, I would recommend you to take 2 loops of the chain. So each chain has 3 loops, the V shape, 2 loops, right? And then in the back, you have a little bumps here. So we take that top loop of the V shape and the back loop, the little bump, like that. So you see I took 2 loops here, right? If I just insert the hook in under this top loop of the V shape, it will be only one loop. But you want to take that loop at the back too, so it will be two loops like so, right? Okay, so for double crochet yarn over, insert the hook in the chain, take two loops of the chain, bring our loop with 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then in this next chain, the same thing, you want another double crochet and insert the hook under 2 loops of the chain. Okay, and double crochet. And it's the same thing happen here, yarn over, insert the hook in the next chain under 2 loops and double crochet. Okay, so we're just gonna repeat the exact same thing. Make sure you don't skip any chains on the way, okay? So, and also you work only 1 double crochet in each chain, like so. So whatever number of chains you made for the strap, in the previous row you will have the same number of double crochet. So if I make 65 chains, I will have 65 double crochet. I don't really count it, but just make sure that you don't skip any chain or work more than 1 double crochet in each chain, right? I have a few chains left, but this is how it should look like, right? Let's do that together. And this last one. Alright, then you'll see this is the next single crochet. So you just single crochet in there, like so, and then single crochet into each stitch across. That's how it should look like. Alright, okay, so then yeah, we just single crochet into each stitch until we reach the other chain, and we actually repeat the exact same thing we did here. You can rewind the video if you need. I will go ahead and finish that. Then let's meet by the end of the row somewhere here, and we're gonna bind off together. I have 2 stitches left, so let's do that. Single crochet and a single crochet. You notice this V right here, it's actually not a stitch but the chain 1 we made in the beginning of the row next to the first single crochet, right? So you don't work in there. Now we are going to slip stitch into this first single crochet, bring that same loop through the loop on your hook, and we want to fasten that slip stitch by pulling on the working yarn, the loop on your hook, and the piece right here. You can pinch right here, pull them all together. That's how we fasten the slip stitch. Okay, now to bind off, we just simply going to chain 1 like so and bring our big loop. Then you can cut right here, bring the yarn tail out and fasten. Okay, this is how it should look like. Let's remove the stitch markers. Okay, that's how it should look like. Let's weave these ends into the piece together. It's actually very important to weave the yarn tail in the proper way because you don't want it to unravel after a few wash. That's just gonna ruin everything, right? The trick is not to weave it in a straight line, but like curl it back and forth, right to the left. So you put the yarn into the yarn needle, and this is why we want like a long tail so that it's easy to weave in. And then you put it into the next loop that you see. So I'll do like that, right? And then now put it to the right, like so. And once in a while you can stretch the fabric where you weave the ends in just to reposition the tail, like so. Don't pull too hard on this yarn because it may bunch the stitches together, right? So we just went right. Now let's go left a little, like so, and then maybe go down a little, like that, and go to the right a little, and then maybe here, and then here, down and then up, like so, and go. It's best to go maybe a little round and round, like that. and then maybe all the way to the right, maybe a little more, and then down, and then maybe down here into these loops. Okay, and then we go here, and then here, and then there again to the left, like so. Okay, and when it feels secure enough, you can just cut, not very close to where it sticks out, so leave just a little bit like that. Okay, and you just stretch the fabric and tuck the excessive in, like so. Okay, that way it really secure, and then you do the exact same thing to the end in the beginning, this one. Okay, and that's it.